Good evening and welcome. This is the evening news. I'm Aishat Khalid. Let's have a look at tonight's top stories. Over 8,200,000 rupiah has been collected by the Help Gaza telethon that kicked off at 2:30. The murder case of Ali Shiham, who was stabbed to death in Kaf Thulistu last Thursday, has been forwarded to the Prosecutor General's office. And Health Ministry holds discussions on the possibility of the Ebola virus reaching the Maldives from West Africa, where it is spreading rampantly. Maldives Transport and Contracting Company MTCC has decided to donate over 360,000 rupiah to the ongoing Help Gaza telethon. The telethon, organized by local media outlets to support the Palestine cause, began at 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. The telethon will end at 12 p.m. tomorrow night. Telethon Steering Committee said that in addition to donating one day's salary of employees, the company has bought 2 advertisement slots as well. In addition to MTCC's donation, Horafushi MP Mohammed Ismail has also bought a 100,000 rupiah t-shirt on behalf of his constituents. The steering committee said that they are receiving a huge amount of support and donations, including the 100,000 rupiah ad bought by Allied Insurance, over 78,000 rupiah from Feliver Fisheries, and over 50,000 rupiah from Department of Immigration and Emigration. Since the telethon kicked off at 2:30 this afternoon, Gaza Fund Maldives, which was an initiative by Adal Party, and the Help Gaza telethon has been merged into one united event. According to the steering committee, activities conducted by Gaza Fund Maldives will now come under the banner of the Help Gaza telethon. The steering committee urges donors to ensure that the collection boxes bear the label and logo of the telethon before making donations. They also noted that collection boxes have been set up in all Maldivian schools by the Ministry of Education as well. In addition to donations in banknotes, fund manager Bank of Maldives said that donations can be made via debit cards as well. They said that a setup has been made in the lobby of TVM and near the Rawalgund Surf area, where donations can be made via debit cards. BML also said that mobile teams have been active in the Greater Male region as well, via which donations can be made from debit cards. BML also noted that people residing outside Male who wish to donate can transfer money from their accounts to Help Gaza account via the bank's internet banking service. In addition to the collection boxes, the Help Gaza telethon team has organized a jumble sale in Imaduddin School as well. Funds raised through the jumble sale will also be donated to the Help Gaza Fund. The Help Gaza telethon has so far received a lot of public support with little children emptying their piggy banks into collection boxes. So far, over 8,200,000 rupiah has been collected. The murder case of Ali Shiham, who was stabbed to death in Kaf Thulistu last Thursday, has been forwarded to the Prosecutor General's office. The suspect arrested in connection with the case is 34-year-old Muhammad Niaz of Thulistu Red Rose. Ali Shiham was stabbed to death on the night of 31st July while he was sitting on a beach near his house. Niaz surrendered himself to police and confessed to the crime shortly after the murder. The court has issued a 15-day detention period for Niaz. Health Ministry has held discussions on the possibility of the Ebola virus reaching the Maldives from West Africa, where it is spreading rampantly. According to Health Ministry, discussions have been held with different authorities on the possible prevention measures against Ebola. Although it has been decided that the possibility of Ebola reaching the Maldives is minimal, discussions were held on preventive measures that can be taken against Ebola. The discussions were focused on what steps can be taken to prevent the virus from entering the country, what measures can be taken if an Ebola patient is discovered, and ways to control the spread of the virus. The discussions were attended by Health Minister Dr. Mariam Shakila, along with a technical team of doctors, officials from the Health Protection Agency and the WHO office in Maldives. More than 932 people have died in the recent outbreak of Ebola in the West African countries of Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria and Liberia. And now here's this week's editorial report.
While only a handful of 100% Muslim nations exist in today's world, every Muslim must today think about why no Islamic nations are listed among the world's most powerful nations. While 100% Muslim nations number a few, thousands of Muslims living in non-Muslim majority countries are forced to endure dark days of terror, humiliation, and persecution. Reflecting on events that have transpired in recent world history, we see that the Zionists, who are apparently claiming world dominion, are aiming to weaken the world's Muslim population by evicting Muslims from their own lands and portraying them as weak and helpless minorities before the eyes of the world. There's no doubt that Palestine, which has a long history of Islamic civilization, is a living example of the previous statement. We are seeing that the sacred land of Palestine is being washed with the blood of innocent Muslims as Zionists turn the Palestinians' rightful home into a ruthless battlefield and force them out of their dwellings. It's greatly disappointing that, while Zionists attempt to conquer Palestine and establish their own settlements in the land, Palestinians are being made homeless in their own land as the world fails to take prompt action. Today, the Zionists have crossed all limits in their efforts to snatch Palestine away from Muslims. While many years have passed since the Zionists created Israel as their own state on land belonging to Muslims and set up borders to clutch Muslims in their hold, they are still making excuses to kill the entire Palestinian population and assume absolute authority over Palestinian land. Aided by the world's most powerful and wealthiest nations, Israeli Zionists are launching genocidal attacks on Palestine, creating a massive humanitarian disaster in the land. It's clear that the Israelis are targeting the poor women and children of Palestine as oil-rich Arab nations watch the show from afar without taking any obvious action. This only shows how weak and divided the Islamic world has come to be. As Palestinians struggle for survival, the people of this 100% Muslim nation have not turned a blind eye to their condition. Though this tiny nation lacks resources and is inhabited by few, the people of this country have shown the closest sympathy with the Palestinian people and proven to the world that the Maldives is in full solidarity with Gaza. Today, even the poorest citizen of this country is doing whatever they can to support the Palestinian cause. This is indeed a great example this country has shown to other Islamic nations and the world at large.
More news still ahead. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back in more news. Vice President of Maldives National Chamber of Commerce and Industries, Ismail Asif, says that given the work that needs to be done under government's economic agenda, Economic Minister Mohammed Saeed is not fit for the position. In an exclusive interview with DhiTV, Asif said that considering the work required under the economic reforms undertaken by the current government and work tied to the economic zone's policies, Saeed is not a suitable person to hold economic minister's post. He said that Minister Saeed does not have managerial skills or visions. Asif noted that Economic Ministry has to carry out a lot of work at the moment, including bringing in foreign investments to Maldives and promoting local businesses, and added that Minister Saeed is unable to carry out the work. He also said that since Saeed assumed office, relations between MNCCI and Economic Ministry have been weakened. He said that they face difficulties in obtaining necessary information from the ministry, including information regarding loans granted to SMEs. Health Minister Dr. Mariam Shakila says that despite progress in the efforts to overcome shortage of doctors in hospitals, ministry is still facing difficulties in getting specialists. She said that ministry is working very hard to bring in the required number of doctors by working with various countries. In that regard, she said that government has directly contacted agencies seeking information and has even held discussions with governments of various countries. She also said that attention is being given to bring in well-qualified doctors. While efforts are underway to bring in doctors, it should be noted that about 80 doctors among the doctors brought by the Nasheed administration have been sent back, citing that they were unqualified. State prosecutors failed to press charges against 3 out of 5 people linked to the 24-kilogram drug smuggling case. According to sources, prosecutors could not get enough evidence to press charges. Police seized the drugs from an Iranian boat in March this year in the biggest drug bust in the country's history. The 3 men include owner of a local boat that went to collect the drugs, boat's captain and a police officer arrested in connection with the case. Meanwhile, prosecutors have pressed charges against the other 2 suspects, Abdullah Sofwat of Everpeace, Hemwer Ward, and Ismail Musa of Trustwood, Gullar Ward. The drugs, with a street value of about 100,000 rupiah, were hidden in a dinghy on the Iranian fishing vessel named Hormozu. When the deadline came to a close to submit applications for membership at the Maldives Media Council, 24 people have applied. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs, when the deadline came to a close on Wednesday, the 6th of this month, 12 people from the media and 12 people from the general public had applied for membership at the 15-member council. According to the ministry, they are now doing work related to clearing criminal records of applicants. The Media Council is appointed for a 2-year term. We conclude tonight's evening news. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Balonu Tiagendoli, DhiTV.
لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله يا مولانا أنت ربي يا الله ما في إله ربتي ودوتك بمجيلا ما في إله رب مخلوقاتك وجيلا هيتوجا شعور مفارقوري في تناوري دنيا تري مهوري خبر فترا مهنكيم nazaru mikama gene sadamun fikuru mikura bayan kuramun fakhuru velama kiyalumakum ya rabbi ya rabbi ya allah ya maulana anta rabbi ya allah mavi ilah rabbati udutaka bimuge ilah mavi ilah rabbe makhluqatakuge ilah nu udai etaritakuga nurulahwa alikuruvi mifenu mawes shukuru vevide mihem basta dikuru vevide pune ma muslim fakhuru vevide de duniyega nadaru libide ya rabbi ya rabbi ya allah ya maulana anta rabbi ya allah mavi ilah rabbati udutaka bimuge ilah mavi ilah rabbe makhluqatakuge ilah lolanno fenunas imamve molang engene duaheve khiyalawes nugene vene kiyademes nukule dene salamataka edigovane shifataka edifarone ya rabbi ya rabbi ya allah la ilaha illallah muhammadur rasulullah la ilaha illallah muhammadur rasulullah ya maulana anta rabbi ya allah mavi ilah rabbati udutaka bimuge ilah mavi ilah rabbe makhluqatakuge ilah ya rabbi ya rabbi ya allah
ya rabbana irham bina salli ala mabusina ya rabbana ighfir lana sallim ala mahbubina ya rabbana irham bina salli ala mabusina shahru siyami ni'matun mu'min takum diruwafiye shahru siyami ni'matun mu'min takum diruwafiye mu'min takum diruwafiye rahmatuge masardin
Balonu tiagendoli DhiTV.
MPCಗೆ ಹುರಿ ಸ್ಟಾಫ್ ಮಿತಿಬಿ ಫಲಸ್ತೀನ್ಗೆ ರೈತುಂಡಾಯೋ
ಗಸಾಂಗ್ ಹೀವುಮ ದಿವೆಹಿ ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ನಗಾಗೆನ್ ಅಶನ್ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ವಾ ಹುಕುರುದೋಗೆ ಸಾದಗಡಿ ತಿರಿಯು ನುವೆನ್ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ವಾ ಹೊನಿರುದೋಗೆರೆ ಬಾರ್ಗಡಿ ಸುನ್ನಟು ಗೆನಿಯದ ಕುರಿಯಗೆನ್ ದಾಟೆಲ್ತೋನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಗಜಾ ಮಾವೆಸ್ ಎಹಿಮಾನ
ಸಿವಿಲ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ನಂಗೆ ಇದು ಮೆದ್ದೇರು ಅಂಗಂ ಫಿರಿಹೆಂಗ್ ಹಮಹಮವಾಣ
Balonu tiagendoli